Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news, all right. Folks, buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the most impactful rumors to hit the Seahawks in recent memory. There's been a lot of chatter around the league, and it's all pointing toward one thing. The Seattle Seahawks are on the verge of making a bold move to bolster their secondary, and that move involves none other than Jaylon Johnson, the shutdown cornerback from the Chicago Bears. Yep, you heard that right. The Seahawks are reportedly in serious talks to bring Johnson into the fold, and if this deal goes through, it could send shockwaves through the NFC West and beyond. Now, before you get too excited, let's back it up a bit. According to multiple sources, including some of the most trusted insiders like Diana Rossini, the Seahawks are actively engaged in negotiations with the Bears, and the key piece on the table is a first-round pick in the 2026 draft. That's a heavy price, no doubt, but the potential benefits for Seattle are enormous. Chicago, sitting at a 5-10 record this season and clearly in a rebuild mode after Justin Fields' decline, is prioritizing cap space and draft capital right now. The Bears are $16 million under the cap, and they're focusing on rebuilding their roster, especially along the offensive line, after some injuries and setbacks, including a recent knee injury to Bryant that sidelined him on December 18th. Chicago's focus on a rebuild means they're less likely to hold on to Johnson, especially when they're looking for draft picks to develop their future core, including weapons for their young quarterback. What makes Johnson so enticing for the Seahawks? Well, he's been absolutely elite this season. In 2025, he's recorded 7 interceptions in just 15 games, which is phenomenal for a corner. On top of that, he's got 22 pass breakups, a 8.9. 2 PFF coverage grade, meaning he's one of the best at shutting down receivers, and he's allowed just 0. 9 yards of separation per target, which is top 5 in the league according to Next Gen Stats. Plus, Johnson has racked up 102 tackles and forced 4 fumbles. Those numbers don't just look good, they scream shutdown corner. Since entering the league in 2020, Johnson has accumulated 18 interceptions, 312 tackles, 62 pass breakups, and he's allowed a QBR of just 68. 4. His recent performances have been jaw-dropping. Take Week 13 against the Packers, for example, 2 interceptions, no yards allowed on 9 targets, and 5 incomplete passes. That's the kind of coverage elite teams dream of. And this season, he's been healthy, no major injuries, unlike 2024 when he dealt with a hamstring injury that cost him 2 games. His ability to lock down receivers is comparable to some of the best in the league, and he's at a peak right now. If you look at his average of 2.4 yards per route covered, it's the kind of lockdown coverage that can elevate a defense from good to great. Now, why would the Bears even consider trading him? Well, with a 5-10 record, they're in full rebuild mode. They need draft picks to find their future quarterback and weapons around him. They're also focusing on rebuilding their defensive line, especially after the injury to their top pass rusher, Sweat. The $16 million cap space they have gives them the flexibility to move players like Johnson to rebuild their roster. Plus, insiders like Schefter have reported some dissatisfaction on the Bears' side regarding contracts and their overall rebuild strategy. It's a classic case of a team prioritizing future assets over short-term competitiveness, and Johnson, as a proven shutdown corner, is a prime trade chip. So what does this mean for the Seahawks? Well, adding Johnson alongside Witherspoon would create a true lockdown duo that could dominate opposing passing games. Imagine a secondary where Johnson shadows the opponent's best receiver, especially in critical moments. This pairing could drop the completion rate of WR1 significantly. PFF projects a drop from around 59% to just 45%. That's a huge difference, especially when you consider how much Seattle relies on solid coverage to limit big plays. Right now, with Bryant sidelined, the Seahawks secondary is allowing over 232 passing yards per game. That's a lot of yards to give up to elite quarterbacks, but with Johnson in the mix, that number could be cut down to under 180 yards, and the Seahawks' interception rate could jump from 1.3 to nearly 1.9 per game. That's a game changer. Think about the impact this would have in the playoffs. Historically, adding a player like Johnson could boost the defense's expected points added, EPA, by around 22%. It's a huge upgrade, especially against high-powered offenses like the Cardinals, where Kyler Murray completes over 72% of his passes. Johnson's versatility is also a huge plus. He can play in the slot if needed, offering even more flexibility for the Seahawks' defensive schemes. This kind of versatility is rare and makes him an even more valuable asset. And let's talk about the Super Bowl odds. Right now, the Seahawks are sitting at plus 800 to win it all, according to BetMGM as of December 21st, 2025. A move to acquire Johnson could improve those odds to plus 500, giving Seattle a much better shot at hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. Think about that. This isn't just about improving the secondary. It's about positioning Seattle as a true contender, a team that can go toe-to-toe with anyone. The addition of a player like Johnson could be the X factor in postseason matchups, especially against teams like the Eagles, where A.J. Brown has over 300 yards receiving. Johnson's elite coverage could be the key to neutralizing top-tier receivers and giving Geno Smith and the offense more opportunities to excel. Of course, no move is without its questions. The Bears are in a rebuild, and part of the reason they're willing to part with Johnson is to accelerate that process. The Seahawks, on the other hand, are in a different place. They're eyeing a deep playoff run, maybe even more. Bringing Johnson in would firmly cement their status as perennial contenders. It's a bold move for sure, but one that could pay massive dividends, especially considering how much a shutdown corner can influence game plans and opponent strategies. So fans, imagine a Seahawks defense that's even more formidable, with Johnson and Witherspoon creating a nearly impenetrable secondary. It's the kind of upgrade that makes the difference in tight games, in playoff battles, and ultimately in hoisting that Super Bowl trophy. The Seahawks have been building a competitive squad all season, and adding Johnson would be the final piece, a true game changer. Bold plan, but one that makes perfect sense given where they stand now and where they want to go. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. Do you think this trade will happen? Are you excited about the potential of Johnson in Seattle's defense? Personally, I believe this could be the move that takes the Seahawks from playoff hopefuls to serious Super Bowl contenders. The secondary is already good, but with Johnson, we're talking about elite-level coverage that could redefine what Seattle's defense can do. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates and analysis, so stay tuned for all the latest Seahawks news. Whether it's trades, injuries, game previews, or post-game breakdowns, I've got you covered. Let's keep this conversation going, keep supporting our team, and get ready for what could be an exciting finish to this season. The Seahawks are on the rise, and if this trade goes through, we'll be talking about it for years to come. Thanks for riding with me, and as always, go Hawks.